Fitting first windows. 1. Fitting panels. Locate the 26 mm wall connector and mark out the position of the relevant fixing bolts. The first and last 60 mm fixing bolt should be positioned 50 mm from the top and bottom faces of the wall connector, with the rest being spaced equally between. A total of 3 fixing bolts are used per wall connector on a dwarf wall model and 5 per connector on a full height model. If any of the positions marked for the 60 mm fixing bolts land on mortar joints, adjust the position accordingly so that they locate over solid brick. Position the 26 mm wall connector so that the internal edge is in line with the margin on the wall drawn earlier. It's important to ensure that the 26 mm wall connector is at an angle of 90 degrees to the base, using timber packing if required. Pre-drill the holes with an 8 mm drill. While holding the 26 mm wall connector in position and ensuring that it rests onto the sill, drill through the connector and into the brick using an 8 mm masonry drill. You're now ready to fix the 26 mm wall connector with fixing bolts. Repeat the process with the connector on the opposite side of the conservatory. Some fixings shown in this DVD are for studio build only. Please refer to your installation guide for the correct fixings required. Two. Fitting first panels. The first panel is connected to the 26 mm wall connector by the 2-part connector. Slide the first half of the 2-part connector into the 26 mm wall connector. Repeat for the remaining half of the 2-part connector, ensuring the inner legs interlock. Select the panel to fit against the property wall. Ensure that the drainage slots in every panel are located at the bottom of the panel and facing the outside of the conservatory. 2 sill support blocks should also be attached to each panel. You'll notice that each panel corner has the inner legs on the panel detailed notched away. It's essential that this detail is present to ensure that all 18 mm inline couplings can slide into position. Line up the sill support blocks with the milled out section at the end of the sill. Slide the panel along the sill and into position. The first panel is slid along the sill until it's around 18 mm away from the 26 mm wall connector. If there's an obstruction above the 26 mm wall connector, assemble the 2-part connector onto the panel before it's fixed to the host wall. Quarter-turn buttons should now be positioned between the panel and the 26 mm wall connector. Using a 6 mm Allen key, rotate the quarter-turn button 90 degrees clockwise to lock it into position. 6 quarter-turn buttons are attached to each face on dwarf wall models, 8 for full height models. At this stage, it's a good idea to check the distance between the back face of the 26 mm wall connector and the side of the first panel measures 26 mm. Silicone should be applied to the sill where the 2-part connector has made contact. Repeat for the opposite window.